Okay, this is a video about doing hard things and how good things can come from doing hard things. And I want to quickly stop you before you want to click off the video and remind you that this is not the David Goggins type of stuff. This is just the fact that if we push ourselves a little bit, we step out of our comfort zone, we remove some of those excuses we might have, and we go for it. We can grow, we can learn, and we can shock ourselves. If I remind myself back to some of my toughest times, my darkest times, my lowest times, the times where I really lost myself, the one thing that I can think of that really brought me back was doing hard things. And at the time, the vessel that I used to do that was running, training for a marathon, working really, really hard every day to achieve a goal, gave me a purpose, and it gave me a whole stack of evidence that I can do hard things. And that when things get hard in my life, I am someone that can stand up and be there for myself. And I think that was the one thing that saved me, honestly, alongside support, help, love, and all of those things. The thing that I could do for myself was do hard things to show myself I could, to believe in myself, and to be my own friend that's going to stand up when I needed me. And you may be wondering why I'm making this video, but it is because this weekend I was reminded of that. And I think I kind of lost sight of it for a while before this weekend. But this weekend, I did 2 Hyroxes with 2 of my closest friends. And you might be thinking, Hyrox is not that hard, or how can two Hyroxes have anything to do with this? But I think it's important to mention that the thing that you are doing is not exactly important. The hard thing you choose is not the most important thing in the world. As long as you enjoy it, as long as it's hard, as long as it's going to push you, then it can be the vessel that shows you that you can do hard things. And that is exactly what Hyrox was this weekend. To be able to work hard, to step into a completely new environment for me, something that I hadn't done before, a pretty intimidating sport or activity, it did a lot for me. Because for the last few months, I feel like I've lost that a little bit. I stopped working hard, I stopped showing up for myself, and I was kind of floating through. And I realise now, looking back, I kept making excuses for myself. If there was something that I could have gone and done, I'd say, oh no, I can't do that because I'm training for Barcelona half marathon. Or a friend of mine was doing a running session and I'd say, oh no, I can't do that. It's not on my plan. I can't do that. But I realised that those are just excuses that we put in the way, or that I put in the way of me doing something hard and being uncomfortable and pushing myself. So this weekend was a flick of that switch, that I don't need to be so rigid on what I'm doing, because that allows me to make excuses and flake away from some of the things that I could do. Some things that could open up a world of enjoyment, a world of growth, and a world of confidence. And I know this is not going to be the longest YouTube video ever for you, but I think it is so important to push ourselves. Not only does it give us purpose, but it gives us evidence. And I've been there, hearing stuff like this when I was in a tough point of my life, and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that running could change someone's life. I didn't believe that getting out there and working hard could change anything, other than the fact that you'd be a bit tired. But it really does. There's a beautiful thing that happens when you move your body and you push it, and your mind tells you to stop, but you don't. And you carry on and you keep pushing and you keep working hard. It changes something in your head. Subconsciously, you know that when you come to a limit, whether that be in a job interview, whether that comes in the form of meeting new people, whether it comes in the form of learning a new skill, your brain knows that actually I've been here before. I've been at this crossroads between stopping and carrying on and pushing through before. And it knows that it can keep going. And I think that's something I learned this weekend again. I reminded myself of again, especially when you're there next to someone, when you're there and you have to work hard for someone else, like I did for Jade and like I did for Ben. Anytime that stopping even entered my mind, I didn't let it. I just nodded my head and told myself that I can keep going. I can go faster. I can push harder. And that's what we did. And I'm so proud of both Jade and Ben, because they did that for me, and I can tell they did that for me. Doing hard things doesn't have to be running 100 miles. It doesn't have to be doing 2 Hyroxes in one weekend. It doesn't have to be something stupid and something impossible. It has to be something that is hard from where you are stood right now. Some days that might be just getting up, making your bed, tidying your room. Sometimes it's choosing to eat the apple over the chocolate bar. Sometimes it is showing up for your friends when they need you and doing 2 Hyroxes when you've never done one before. But really, me showing up for those two people was actually me showing up for myself. And I have to thank them for that opportunity. You can do hard things. Sometimes you just need to remind yourself that you can. Funnily enough, this weekend it was just me running around. Sometimes it is showing up when you least want to. It's having the conversation when you don't want to. It's writing a journal when you don't want to. It's creating the thing when you don't want to. But whatever it is in your life, I promise you, if you get it done when you know you should, you persevere, you keep trying, your subconscious holds on to that. I'm going to leave it there. You can do hard things. And I hope you prove that to yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.